Before I start, can I just say that apologies if the light is a little bit off in this video. Just before I started, the light literally exploded and there was glass everywhere and I had to fix it and all that, so excuses, basically. Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. Today on Space Week, we'll be talking about Venus. On Venus, a day is longer than a year. One day on Venus is as long as 243 days on Earth. 1 year on Venus is 224 Earth days. This means that Venus has the longest day of any planet in the solar system. Venus rotates so slowly that you could jog at the equator and lap the planet before it rotates once. When I say you could do that, I mean literally you could do that. I couldn't because my stamina is terrible. Venus rotates in the opposite direction to the other planets in the solar system. This is known as retrograde motion. Venus is flipped upside down. Its north pole is its south pole and vice versa. This is why it spins in the opposite direction to the other planets. Venus probably had water millions of years ago, but it was lost over time. Venus is the most spherical planet of all the planets in the solar system. The other planets tend to be flat at the top and bottom and bulge in the middle, so they're not true spheres. There are no tectonic plates on the planet. Venus has the same temperature on every part of its surface. Venus's atmosphere has a rainbow. Venus is the third brightest thing in the sky after the sun and the moon. Venus is so bright it can be seen during the day. At its closest, Venus is 66 million miles from the sun. At its farthest, it's 68 million miles from the sun. Venus has the smallest elliptical orbit around the sun in the solar system. The closest and furthest it can be from the sun constitutes a difference of only 2 million miles, which in astronomical terms is very small. At its closest, Venus is 25 million miles away from Earth. Venus is regularly reported as a UFO. The best time to see Venus is before sunset or after sunrise. Venus's diameter is 7,521 miles. Because Venus looks so beautiful in the sky, it was named after the Roman goddess of beauty. The Mayans were the first civilization to record observation of Venus in 650 AD. Venus is the most similar to Earth in size. Venus has 95% of the diameter of Earth and 80% of its mass. However, Venus is incredibly different to Earth in many ways. Venus's surface temperature is 460 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt lead. Or people. On Venus, it snows metal. It rains sulfuric acid. It's so hot on Venus that the rain never touches the ground because it evaporates before it reaches the bottom. Venus's atmosphere pressure is 92 times heavier than Earth's. This means that you would weigh almost 100 times what you weigh on Earth and be crushed by your own body within a split second of being exposed to Venus's atmosphere. Also, the 400 plus degrees Celsius wouldn't help, and the toxic gases in the atmosphere, so basically be poisoned, crushed, and burnt within a microsecond. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. People find this a bit weird because Mercury is closer to the Sun, so why isn't that the hottest? And the reason why is very simply because Venus doesn't have a magnetic field, so it has absolutely no protection to solar wind. Its atmosphere is composed of 95% carbon dioxide. Venera 7 was the first space probe to land on another planet. It was built by the Soviets and launched on August 17th, 1970. It landed on Venus shortly after, and it took a single photograph of the planet's surface. Within 2 hours, the robot was crushed and melted by the planet's atmosphere. Every surface feature on Venus, like a mountain or a crater or a volcano, is named after a goddess. Venus looks so different in the morning and evening that early civilizations thought they were two different stars. The Greeks called Venus Phosphorus and Hesperus, and the Romans called the planet Lucifer and Vesper. Venus moves at 30 miles per second. It takes exactly 6 minutes for the sun's light to reach Venus. For years, the dense clouds on Venus's surface made it impossible for astronomers to see what kind of world it was. Scientists imagined it was a swamp-like paradise, populated with Venusian aliens. And I left the most mind-blowing fact about Venus for last. Although Venus is considered inhospitable, ironically, 30 miles above the surface, the conditions are surprisingly similar to Earth. Unlike Mars, Venus's atmosphere can shield us from ultraviolet rays from the sun. Scientists have considered a possible sky city in the future hovering over Venus. Special thanks to these fine people for all their help. Thanks for watching. See you again.